Welcome. Good morning, guys. Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to this rendition episode of Todd Mickens. Let's talk about it. Listen, I'm thanking God for a good morning this morning. It's just awesome. I'm just blessed to be alive. Those of you who missed I did a pop-up live last night. And it was awesome. Y'all, we spoke to my father's daddy, Pop Mickens, leader of the, they're very well known as the Reverend Mickens and the New Highway Travelers, but they are branding under the new name of the Mickens. Same thing. They're not going to get mad if you call them something else. They're not worried about that. They're not getting mad if you call them Reverend Mickens Music, whatever, as long as you don't call them out their name. We had awesome interviews with Pop Mickens last night. We had awesome interviews with Justin Mickens last night. Awesome interview with Colton Mickens last night, and as well another awesome interview with Mitchell Lowry last night. What's going on, my good brother? How you doing, man? And it was awesome. And as y'all can see, I got them still in the background. And we was possibly going to get maybe one more interview in this morning. I may even matter of fact, I did say I was gonna call my mother. Good morning, Francis. How you doing? I was gonna call my mom and get a perspective from her from being a part of the group per se, from the not from the outside in, but kind of from the outside in. You never seen her up there singing, but being a wife of a on the road singer of a, from the whole beginning. I was gonna get a perspective from her, and we was gonna try to get the keyboard player, Jamie Mickens. He was tied up last night. We couldn't get to him. Mary Sims, good morning. How you doing? But we do have a special guest that we will be bringing on later on, and I'm thinking we're gonna give her. We're going to try to get these other interviews out the way, and we're going to bring her on, Miss Dominique. She's going to talk to us about some insurance. Miss Dominique Collins. We're going to get her to come on a little bit later. So let's see. Let me go ahead and get this phone call in the way. Matter of fact, first of all, listen, welcome again to the Todd Mickens Let's Talk About It podcast. Let's get some of these videos in the way. Matter of fact, what I want y'all to do, let's do this right here. Let's go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and share the share the lives. Let's go ahead and share the lives. Just share it to, I like sharing it to our Laura Richland community, definitely. But y'all go ahead and share. Dina said, Daddy Mickens. Yeah. Just go ahead and share it, guys. I think this life insurance information is a great conversation. I think it's a great, awesome conversation that will be good for everyone. It's a great conversation that will be good for everyone. Again, I'm going to definitely post it in the Laura Richland community. And just kind of post it throughout some of these people that I'm connected with. Because like I said, we're going to talk insurance, all different ways, shape, forms, of fashion. We're going to discuss this thing, man, because there's always a better way. We don't know. But when we know better, we do better. And y'all be patient. I'm sharing, I'm posting. So y'all do the same. If you can, y'all please share with three people. Thanks, Dina. Share with 3 people. This is Craig Stoops, great friend of mine. Your character would outweigh any lie told about you. Those who know you. Listen, you can't beat that with a stick. That's just straightforward to the point. Your character will outweigh any lie told about you. Those who know you know you. Thank you, Brother Craig. Deacon Craig, he's a deacon of this great church that I am facilitating, pastor of. Let's go ahead. Let's look at this. We're going to I'm going to call my mother, get her on the line. And while we're doing that, we're going to watch some, just pay attention.
little bit of this song. Look at here. Woo! Time is winding up now. Start again, y'all. Keep on. Start one more time. Time is. Start again, boy. Time is. Are you ready to get your house in order? Y'all better get your house in order. You better get your house in order. You better get your house in order. You know why the time is winding up. Start again, y'all. Time is every day, every day. Time is every day of my life. Time is just a mothers. Tell your daughters. Tell your daughters. Fathers. Tell your sons. Preachers. Preachers. Tell your members. Tell your members. Don't let them catch you with your work undone. You know why? Time. Every day, y'all. Time is every day of my life. Time. Do you see the signs in the fig tree, y'all? I know time is whirling. Time is getting closer, closer, closer. Every day, y'all. Time is. You better get your house in order.
Hopkins, South Carolina, and all surrounding areas. The Mickens are bringing a night in Hopkins to the Lower Richland Theater on December 11th, 2022. The Mickens will be celebrating their 26th year anniversary and first live recording with special guest King George, Doc McKenzie and the Highlights, Tammy Edwards and the Edwards
you
Sisters,
ready?
2022 Star Award winners, the Brown Boys, and McFadden. Tickets are available at the Mickens 26.
Okay, I got it.
It's a movie.
Let's go.
Y'all, I'm gonna let this commercial here play off my good friend Cheryl Snell.
Ever look back just to see how good he's been? Listen,
Cheryl Snell, always a good friend.
so many times.
All right, let's get this. Listen, guys, I am back. Listen, I told y'all we spoke to Pops yesterday. We spoke to my both my brothers yesterday, and then we spoke with Mitchell Lowry yesterday. I tried to get in touch with Jamie, couldn't get him this morning. Hopefully he'll call in a little bit later. But I told y'all I wanted to get a different perspective. We always talk to the group leaders, but I want to get just a couple questions because I know she's busy this morning. Just a couple of questions from I'm gonna just say from Mama Mickens. That from Mama Mickens, my mother, Norma Jean Mickens, wife of Matthew Mickens, mother of Justin and Colton, mother of Mitch Lowry. Because Mitch will get me if I don't say that. And auntie / mother to Jamie. Mama, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Listen, everybody in the chat, everybody happy to see you. Dina Brown says, hey.
Hello, Dina.
Yeah. Listen, guys, if y'all can hear me, make sure you type in yes, we can hear you in the chat, because we don't want to be talking and y'all don't hear. So y'all let me know if you can or can't hear. We're going to get, Mom, being the wife of a singer, mother of singers, Justin kind of spoke about it yesterday. In the beginning, where none of us was really working, all the burden of the, of course we had James Jeffcoat. He was one of the ones. We had some other adults, Tommy Mitchum at one time, but the burden of everything in the beginning financially was upon you and Pops. Tell us real quick about you having to believe in your husband in this dream that he had of traveling all over the country in whatever vehicle he found deemed to get. What was that like in the beginning?
Well, first I'd like to say I give honor to God for allowing us to see another day that we have never seen before. And I praise God for this opportunity just to speak to those who are listening this morning. But I tell you what, my husband, he loved what he do. When I met him, he was singing quartet, and it was in his heart to do that. And even when we were singing with his family, and I'm saying we because I was a part of the Highway Travelers at one time too.
All right now.
Put that out there. But anyway, I could see the desire and the passion that he had for it. So I went along. One of the trip that we had made, I'll never forget it, with no GPS available at that time. We went to Detroit, Michigan. Me and my husband and 3 little boys. I was in such fear. Amen. Praise the Lord. But God kept us. Mercy and grace led us to Detroit and brought us back to Columbia. And we didn't have that much money. Amen. But God took us there. And I was with him because I saw the passion and the love that my husband had for it. And that's one of the things, amen, that drove me to keep pushing with him, because that's what he wanted to do. What he wants, I want.
All right. Not only that, because I know you speaking so highly as you always do, Pops, but even with all the transitions of the difference with Justin and Colton, myself at one time, dealing with young boys that could have went up. And listen, we probably did go ways and did a lot of stuff that y'all don't know about, but all the times that we may not have followed the correct path. Because I do remember at one time, I think Justin had got in trouble for some, or either Colton and one of the teachers or somebody, or either somebody was like, well, he liked that guitar, take the guitar away from him. And I think it was a teacher that said, no, don't take that away from him. That's his identity. You remember that?
That's exactly right. She told me that's who he was. That's how he identified himself. She wanted to take the guitar away from him. That was one of the way of punishing him. But I thank God for somebody else standing up in his stead to say, no, don't do it. Don't break his spirit like that to take it away from him. So I praise God for that. And I thank God for all of my boys, for all of my children. And yes, there's been some challenging days sometimes, but my husband usually remind me that we both was young at one time, and for me not to take things so personally. But you know how we mothers are. We are emotional beings. But I praise God for my children, and they didn't do everything perfect, but neither did I. And it was a task, but I thank God because they too were just like their daddy, just like you and Justin and Cole. All of y'all came in love with quartet. Amen. I can remember the time that my husband taking y'all to see Joe Lagon, the Mighty Clouds of Joy, and how excited you guys were. So, but it was a challenge at some time. Everything wasn't sweet every day, but thank God, God brought us through it. Amen. I just praise God. I praise God for such a time as this, as to where we are now. We can see the fruit of the labor of all those years. 26 years, mercy and grace have brought us to this place right here. And I thank God. I just thank God. I'm excited this morning, Todd. I'm just excited.
Yeah. Listen, real quick now, this is going to be probably funny, but can you tell the people about the countless times where your living room, dining room / kitchen home was the stomping grounds for our rehearsals? I'm talking about when I say stomping grounds, because I don't think people understand what they see on stage probably ain't half of what they see in the rehearsals. And and everything that you see on stage, from the footsteps to the hard drives to the music to the singing for one song for 30 minutes. Because daddy used to sing one song for 30, 40. Tell the people how was that, having that in your home Monday night after Monday night, and then I think it went to Thursday. How was that?
It went from Monday to Thursday, and I tell you, at first it was all right, and I enjoyed it. But after a while, I would say, Lord, when are they going to quit? When are they going home? But through all of that, it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm not going to tell no lie. Some nights I was like, oh, God, when I got off of work and come on, oh, Lord, rehearsal night is the night. But that's the birth of the group, going through those little shortcomings that I thank God for. It was a challenge now, having all that equipment set up in your home, blasting the neighborhood. But through it all, through it all, look at God. Look at God.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge.
And what about, we know your connection and your love for, of course, Justin, Colton, Jamie, myself. What about the ones who were not born per se Mickens, but came to the group? Because the Mickens have had several awesome musicians who came in and helped out and been a part at one time, but everybody seems to take a liking and always get to calling y'all mom and pops. You had to be, and still are, kind of a mother to all those people. How was that being because you take some boys out of town and they're away from their parents, they still got to have that guidance, and you was their parent away from their parent. How was that?
Well, first of all, I thank God for their respect toward me. Oh, Mitch just think he's a Mickens, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We can call him Mitch Mickens. And Jeff, I remember the drummer, that they have now. I call him Cha Cha. He called me mom, and I just give great respect to all them. James Jeffco, they were great friends of ours. Martin Mickens. I mean, it was so many. I could go on and on and on as to how people respect me to that level. They call me mom. Mom Mickens this. Mom, you need anything? So I thank God for that. I really do. I really do, because they some of them got a mom, and yet still they choose to call me mom. So I praise God for that as well. It makes me feel good, to be honest with you. That's really
awesome. Does. That's awesome. Now I'm gonna get ready to let you go. Planning for anniversaries, planning for programs, planning for road trips, staying overnight. Some, I know now they travel way more than they started out doing. I know a lot of times you try to go when you can. How is that, knowing that your husband, your sons, your family members, you might as well say your group, because y'all are one, maybe traveling many, many, many miles, have to fly out and you have to stay back and I don't mean stay back like you can't go, but I know you just choose sometime, hey honey, I'm staying home. But what's that like, knowing that, hey, my folks out there on that road, Lord, please protect my family. What's that like?
You got that right. Constantly in prayer for my family, and yes, I could go anytime they're on the road. It's my choice whether I go or not, and most of the time, especially if the trip is over, I'll say 800 miles. I choose to stay home. But it is, I'm here praying, and I thank God for my grandchildren. Sometimes they come and spend a little time with me. I thank God for my girls for being there. Sometimes they'll come and get me and take me out to eat, keep me busy, So it's not like I'm just here alone by myself. I just thank God for them. And, of course, everywhere my husband goes, he's going to call me back. And I ask him, where you at now, honey? Wait a minute, let me see. You got to know where you're going, baby.
Yeah.
But everywhere they go, he's calling. We're on the phone until the phone checks out. But it's sometimes it gets hard now, because I do worry about him. I do worry. And if I can't get in touch with him, I'm constantly calling. Andrea, have you heard from Justin? So it's a alert to be prayerful at all times that my family return home safe out on the highway.
Yeah.
And I thank God for, let me say this too, for my daughters, for the preparation of the anniversary. Usually I have my hands, working hard and doing this, but every year it's getting easier and easier for me. They have kind of like tell me to step back a little bit, and they're handling it. So I appreciate my girls for all the awesome job they do. My daughter-in-law, your wife, BB, every time she come up, Pops, anytime you need me, call me. She's there, so I thank God for my family circle and how well that they support the Highway Travelers. I'm still saying Highway Travelers, but anyway, the Mickeys.
Listen, guys, you have heard it here first. Norma Jean Mama Mickens was the lead singer of the Highway Travelers back in the day. That's what she said. Matter of fact, I think she's leading the song tonight. Y'all heard it here first. Listen, Ma, I'm gonna let you go. I just appreciate you taking the time out with us this morning. And I was telling Daddy, I know it's a good feeling to sit back and see the fruits of your labor. Like you said, you don't have to have hands-on so much with the planning. You got Mallory, Dap, you got because I know y'all not doing any cooking per se because of the environment or the ambiance of the location today, but even with all the people that be in the kitchen from your grandkids in the kitchen, James in the kitchen frying fish, Dap. I mean, I'm telling everybody that people see anniversaries and all they think about is the anniversary group on the stage, but all that behind the scenes work. That's why I thought it was very important to talk with you. Just let people know that these guys that's out here singing, they got behind the scenes hardworking people supporting them. And I know Pops, thank you for it. I know the Travelers thank you for it. I know we thank you for it. And like you say, my wife say all the time, whatever they need, let's do. Matter of fact, speaking of which, I know some people noticed that the TV show didn't actually, they showed the show from last week. And I wasn't too happy about that. And my wife, she wasn't happy about that because we had a video of Pops them singing. And
okay, that's what happened.
Yeah. So I immediately got on the phone and called the TV station, and the guy was very apologetic. He uploaded the wrong one. But for those of you listening, they will run it at 10:30. I know my audience is normally from 6:30 to 7 o'clock, but they are going to run it on the same channel at 6:30. And like I said, it's just, it's showing my pops and my brothers. And I just, and my wife was like, oh man, that's not, I mean, because everybody know that my wife does the production of the show. She puts the video together, and I was hurt. I was like, man, shoot, this is my dad and them. And, it's just that one video of that time is short and they advertise it. But still, we just want everybody to listen. Whatever the Mickens need, whatever mom and pops and brother them need, it is nothing but a word. And for y'all, listen, some of y'all probably gonna be at church, but tune in on channel 63.1. We will be showing the correct show today. And who knows, maybe we may find another audience at 10:30. So everything happens for a reason. But the main thing is everybody just make sure you get down there to the Laura Richland Theater today. Listen, I'm gonna just say this: people calling asking about tickets. All I can tell you, there ain't no early bird tickets. Just get to the door when you can. It only seats 1,200, and I believe we're gonna supersede that. Mama, Miss Mickens, as Daddy call you, JB, Honey Bun, I call you Mama. Listen, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we will be seeing you in Dina, Lonnie Richardson, everybody, Jabari Wade, everybody on here saying, hey, Mike C. Adams, Tim Wesley, Mary Sims, Roosevelt, everybody just saying, hey, everybody love you, and everybody can't wait to see you.
We love them too. And I just like to thank God for all their supporters. Amen. And pray for safe traveling for all of those who are traveling to come to the anniversary. We praise God for them.
All right. Well, y'all, you've heard it. That was my mother Norma G. And listen, y'all can tell. I don't have to tell you, she's she's a preacher, right? She got that evangelistic tone when she talk. You know, y'all heard my mother say, and I thank God for my husband. And I thank God for the many, many years. Y'all heard Mama was about to evangelize and preach up in here. Mama, listen, I'll see you a little bit later. Love you.
Okay, great day.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, man. Listen, that was Joel Elvis. What's going on? Good morning. Cheryl said I sold out the early bird ticket last week. I had to come up with a running list. These tickets. So yeah. Listen, y'all, that was my mother. Listen, wife to the Reverend Mickens, mother to Justin and Colton. Might as well say auntie to Jamie, and mother. I better say mother, because he'll get me if I don't, to Mitchell Lowry. And as y'all can see, man, our family connection, man, is just awesome. And I wanted to really emphasize, and that's why I mention my wife a lot of times when it comes to the show. Everybody sees the upfront. Everybody see me in front of the mic. Everybody see me, or they had the name, you know, it's Todd Mickens Early Morning Praise, but the support of what you don't see behind the scenes. Like I always say, you know, half the stuff I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't have a strong support system from my wife. She like I said, when I, you know, for those y'all tuning in, they played the wrong video this morning for TV. It was correct on Facebook, but it wasn't right on TV. But they are trying to rectify and correct their mistakes, and they will play it at 10:30. So if for those of you who may not be in church at 10:30, tune in at 10:30 to channel 63.1 locally, channel 63 Direct TV, and channel 4 on Spectrum. But guys, listen, I appreciate y'all. Now I do have we're going to transition. I do have an interview set up, and I'm going to check and see if this person is ready, so we can get some conversation in about some life insurance, insurance period. Okay, she says she's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and send the link, and we're going to go ahead and set this on up. She came on a while back, and we kind of talked about some things, and she is back today. Y'all know I'm slow, so don't be picking at how yeah. I can see some of y'all now. Hey, he types so slow. Yeah, I do. I type slow. I don't see. Let me see. It's not. Wait a minute. Make sure I'm spelling it right. And what I'm gonna do, Miss Dominique, I'm going to, if you are listening, because it's not pulling you right here, so I'm gonna have to try something else. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, because help is on the way. Hold on, help is on the way. And my wife is bringing y'all this episode of Early Morning Praise. Let me stop, because I got to do this. I mean, the Todd Mickens Let's Talk About It podcast. This episode is brought to you by Hell Hot Coffee. Coffee that's hot as hell that my wife brings to me. She tried to burn my lip. I'm going to see how hot it is today. But this is the Hell Hot Coffee. Let's see. Okay. She did good today, guys. She didn't burn me up today. Thank you. Okay. But there go Dominique right there. She's already here. Dominique, I'm going to Brittany Miles. What's going on? What's going on, Brittany? Dominique, I don't know why it's not letting me listen. I'm just going to post the link in the chat. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna post the link in the chat, and if you can't hit the link because it's not letting me send the link, so I'm gonna post it in the chat. And if you don't mind, just hit that link for me. Hit that link for me. If you hit that link for me, Dominique, we'll we'll good Brittany Miles saying good morning. We got Connie Jones saying good morning, excited about the live recording. We got Jabbar's Hell Hot Coffee will burn everything out. Yes, it will. It'll burn you. Yep, it'll clean you out too. Yeah. So soon as Dominique hits the link, guys. Oh, I didn't send it yet. There we go. It should be coming through. Yeah, it should be coming through in a few. And again, while she's getting ready to come on, we're gonna go back and we're going to let's run the commercial again for the Mickens, all right? And that's gonna give Dominique time enough to get in, and we're gonna fix any kind of technical difficulties that they have. So y'all tune in. Hold your horses, Denise. Hold your horses. All right, let's see.
I went out to buy
Matter of fact, I got a couple commercials. Let me go back to 5. Here we go. Wait a minute. Yeah, I see.
Catch you if you work under. You know why?
Oh. right, y'all. Listen. We got it linked in now. After this, matter of fact, I think I'm gonna get this on. Y'all done heard it. If you want to hear my daddy sing some more, come out today. You hear daddy sing. One thing that you need to hear is some stuff about Connie Jones said, real quickly before we bring our guest up.
Hawkins, South Carolina,
good,
and all
Todd.
surrounding areas. The Mickens are bringing a night in Hawkins to the Lower Richland Theater on December 11th, 2022. The Mickens will be celebrating their 26th year anniversary and first live recording with special guests King George, Doc McKenzie and the Highlights, Tammy Edwards and the Edwards Sisters, 2022 Stellar Award winners The Brown Boy and McFadden. Tickets are available at the Mickens26live.com. It's a movie.
All right, here we go. Look, guys, I'm going to bring to your front a young lady. She has been a guest on the show before. Now, I'm gonna just be honest with you. And she probably gonna matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to see her face when I say it. I want to see her face before I did not think she was gonna make it this morning. Listen, I did not know she would be. God has blessed her with another blessing from Him. She will be soon bringing into this world another great gift of God. I did not know she was. First of all, I did not know she was with child, and I did not know how close she was to with childing. But I just so happened to run across a couple pictures or either a video. And all I can tell you is she was having herself a good time celebrating with family. And I sent her a message. I said, wait a minute, hold on. I said, hey, I can understand if you don't make it in the morning because she was celebrating. Listen, good morning, Dominique. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me?
Can y'all hear? Let us know is the volume good? I know I'm somebody listen, chat, let us know, chat. Connie Jones is the volume. Can you hear? Dina, can you hear? Can you hear us? I need some, you know what? Listen, how we gonna get this information out if y'all don't let us? Okay, they say Jabari says loud and clear, Connie Jones loud. Everybody, listen, all these people is in here. They want to know about insurance. Listen, I want to jump straight in. We have people from outside of Columbia, outside of the South Carolina, tuned in right now. My wife said,
awesome.
So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
I know we don't per se look at my pops talking about yes. Daddy, you supposed to be resting and getting ready for the program. Get off of here.
He said he want to listen in too.
yeah. Let's jump straight in. I always like for this show to be informative, and one of the things that we need to like Cheryl said, educate us. Is this aspect of insurance? I just want you to break it down of your specialty and what we're talking about. Well, it's from life, health, boom, boom, boom. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you got muted just now.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
My little screen went mute for a minute. Okay, but y'all may hear my baby in the background. She's getting ready to go have some breakfast. But just to introduce myself, I am Mrs. Dominique Collins. I am a mom of 3 and currently pregnant with my 4th and last. I came into the life insurance industry about 4 years ago, going on 5 now. And it just totally blew my mind, all of the information that I was given when I came into the company. And so I've made it a point to spread this information to my friends and family and in the community as well, because it's important. Life insurance really wasn't a big topic for me before I started this because, of course, just like everyone else, I really was thinking like, oh, we got time, whatever. But once I sat down with who brought me into the company, it was more so that I figured out it was more prevalent than what I thought. So since then, I have helped numerous families make sure that themselves and their families are properly protected in the sense of having the knowledge about life insurance and what they need. Now, I know, of course, if anybody has questions, Todd, you can come back on whenever necessary. But just to break it down, I am a term life insurance producer. And I know when a lot of people hear term, they feel like, no, I don't want that. That's not good. That's not a good deal. But actually getting the statistics about it and understanding what it means when you have a term policy is a lot more beneficial than just thinking that whole life or cash value is the number one thing that you need to have.
Okay.
Going on that, with the company that I produce for, we like to teach about buying term and investing the difference. Major thing with that is because when you have a whole life or cash value policy, it has a lot of different names. You are paying for three components, which is protection, cash value, and your retirement income. You are paying for all three of those components while you have your policy, but you can only exhaust one at a time. So just to give you all an example, with a cash value policy, let's just say you have a $75,000 policy, and then you also have $75,000 saved up in your, retirement income or savings. So of course, we all know that savings portion is supposed to be your money directly. But with a whole life policy, you are not able to just go in and take from that money like you should be with the savings. You are actually borrowing that money. So in the instance that, you want to go into your savings, and let's say you want to go on a trip, or, some of us, may have kids in college, going to college, or, finishing up college, and you want to get them a nice gift, help them get a car, down payment on something like that. And you say, hey, I want to go in, I want to take out half of my policy, a little bit of my policy, or even sometimes if you say you want to take out the whole, not policy, the whole cash value that you saved up of your money, right? You go in, you get that money out, you spend it how you need to, and then lo and behold, unfortunately, you pass away. At that point, if you've taken out any money from your policy, they are going to send your family a letter basically stating that, you have borrowed from your money, which is strike number one for us, and that your family only has 30 days to pay that money back. If not, they will deduct that money from your actual death benefit. Because, of course, remember, you're paying for three, but you can only exhaust one. So if you die, you are only entitled your death benefit, not your savings that you have per se. If you exhaust all of your savings, that is still supposed to be your money. Again, same stipulations. Your family has 30 days to pay that money back. And if they don't, you no longer have a policy. So your family will not be receiving anything. Basically, they would be considering your policy as lapsed. So that is just strike number 1, 2, and 3 for us. We do not like to have both components together. We like to separate your policy versus the money that you would be saving, hence the buy term and invest the difference. And so you can pull from your money whenever you get ready, without any stipulations, because of course it's your money going into a savings vehicle for you. And then you also have your policy in the event that you passed away. Now, I know that was a lot of information,
Yes,
so I'll stop there and see if anyone has any questions. Or Todd, how are you feeling?
Well, I was, I'm like multitasking over here. So I was like, you were saying, so I was like, I was just catching. I was like, whoa, okay. Let me see what Jabari, he's a entrepreneur, business owner. He says term is good, especially for business owners or those with young children. He said he did term until my building was paid for in case something happened, so my wife wouldn't get hit with trying to cover that expense or lose the property. Mm-hmm. So Jabari is a supporter of the term. So tell you what, I think I asked you this last time.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody on here working probably got some type of insurance from their job.
Right.
And let's get to the importance of what you're presenting and what our jobs present. What's
Okay.
the, you know, and
Okay. So yeah, that's another big thing that we also like to focus on is the importance of having a policy outside of your job. Main reasons I would say I will list. One is because with those group policies that you are getting from your job, those policies can change at any point in time. You know, we all know working in the corporate world, they can go in and, you know, do whatever and lessen your policy without notice, basically. And then at that point, you have to take whatever you can get. Also, main thing that we like to focus on is with a policy, only having a policy through your job. If you are fired, laid off, or, you know, of course, if you quit, you no longer have a policy with that company, of course. Most of the time, you know, you have to outsource and then it's going to be, you know, more expensive. But that's one of the main things that we like to touch on is the fact that, you know, if something happens, you're out too long, you know, like I said, you fired, quit, get laid off, you know, you no longer have life insurance. And so in the event that, you know, you need it in an emergency, something happens to you, you know, you want to have that backup protection for you and your family.
Okay. All right. So here I am, a young married couple, fresh to the game. I'm married. Me and my wife, we got a kid. Well, we got what they offer us at the job. I done been there for 3 months. I'm getting my insurance. I got my life insurance, and now you are meeting me for the first time, and you can tell that I know nothing about insurance. I'm talking about I need you to, whatever you explain to me, I need it in the most basic forms of you trying to convince me, listen, young brother, you and your wife, you're 21, 23 years old. I have, I don't know if y'all have packages or you have an example, but this could benefit you in the future. What would you tell this young couple if we just, I mean, we don't have a clue. All we know all our lives that our parents went to work and they got the insurance that was on the job. You don't know that about the, you know, because like you said, people be done go and borrow off the money. And then when they pass and they kids thinking, well, mom and daddy had some type of insurance and we just use their money, and lo and behold, and this may sound, and I ain't trying to be funny, but I know it doesn't happen. Now you got mom and daddy body just sitting, waiting because people trying to figure out how in the world we gonna pay for this funeral. So break that down to the young couple, and then I want you to come back and break it down for the stubborn, the older ones that's all right. I don't need nothing like that. I'm good. I got what I got, and then specify again the difference in the two insurance. And like I say, like a baby that's needing to listen. I'm young, and ma'am, Miss Collins, somebody told me to come talk to you about insurance, but I thought I had good insurance on my job because me and my wife, we just got married, and my mama said I don't need no other insurance.
I
now,
got you.
Talk about their mama now. Don't talk about their mama. Just talk.
No. I'm not gonna tell you that your mama wrong. I'm gonna just give you some examples. Okay, breaking it down. So I would say, you know, to give some information, but of course, you know, we can't go into the whole presentation. I'll have to do that in person. But let's just say, you know, I am meeting with a younger couple because I've done this numerous times. I was a young couple with with 2 children at that time when it was explained to me as well. So what I would do, I would sit them down, you know, go over the information that I just gave out, basically, as far as with breaking down a, you know, whole cash value policy. Also letting them know that we suggest buying term and invest in the difference. Also, we give examples of what that investing portion of it looks like as well, based on the fact that, you know, having your money in the bank versus having your money with a company where you're getting a 6 or 12 or 20% value increase with your money being into a savings with us. So we go over that first. Then we move into a money theory that we have, and that's where we break down exactly how much life insurance you need specifically for your family. So most of the time, of course, on the job, you have set numbers that you can choose from, maybe 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and then that pulls from your paycheck every month. Okay, cool. But outside of that, most of the time, a lot of families don't realize that it takes more than just those amounts to actually be able to have your household suffice after you're gone. So what I mean by that is what we use are the death benefit, how much it takes for you to pay your bills, and I'll explain why pretty soon, and the education benefit for, especially in this example, you do have a child. So with that, most of the time it takes about a good 10 to 15,000 for you to be able to have a good burial nowadays. And that would cover everything. So we take that 15,000, then let's just say we have where it takes you and your wife maybe $2,000 to $3,000 a month to pay your bills. We factor that in. And then what I like to do for the children with the education benefit is I normally like to start off all kids with at least $20,000. To explain what that does, in the event that something does happen to one spouse, both spouses, however that may go, that benefit for your child can do one of two things. You can take that benefit and let it roll over into an actual claim for them. The age used to be 25, where they would need their own policy. Now they have backed that down to the age of 18. So as soon as your child turns age 18, that policy can just roll over into a policy for them. Even if their health has changed, anything like that, it's not necessary for us to have to go back. That policy just automatically becomes theirs. Second thing is going to be if they don't want that and they are planning on going to college, they can actually use that money to help with their school education and, paying for books or, tuition, whatever that may look like. So I'll just say for me, when me and my husband first started, we had ourselves, our 2 children. And once we actually went through and did the same theory, we found out that it actually would take about $250,000 for us to be able to, go through that burial process. And then from there, with my specific company, it's always great because they give you 2 options. You can either receive a check every month in the amount of, whatever it took for your spouse to help with bills. And then that would just be a rolling continuing, until you want it to change. Or, you might say, hey, I just want the money in a lump sum. You can do that as well. At that point in time, we normally do suggest that you try to put some of it into a retirement, vehicle for yourself so that you'll have that at a later time. But with that, like I said, with us finding out that it would have taken $250,000, that would be me covered, him covered, and then most of my children being covered with $20,000 a piece. So that would be my son had $20,000, my daughter had $20,000. For that amount of life insurance for us, at that time, it only cost us $75. Now, of course, now that we're older, we're making more money, we went back and adjusted that income for us and our family so we can make sure that, like I said, that rolling income can continue if something happens to one of us, because, of course, we have a, pretty big family, a new addition coming. So we want to be on the safe side. Normally, once we sit down with a young couple and we go over these statistics, they're like, wow, I never would have thought about it like that. That does seem really beneficial to us. Even if you can't start off with that amount, We just want to make sure that you know exactly how much it would cost for your household to continue to thrive, so that even if you have to start off with a lower policy, because we're all about what benefits families. So some people may not afford $75 a month. Whatever you can afford, we'll work with you, let you know how much that's going to be. And then as time goes on, I'll always be their agent. So we'll come back and revisit it, until we get you to that point. Now, for an older couple or person, of course, I service all ages. And so I go through that as well, where, we sit down and talk, and, they don't think that they need any type of other coverage as well. Same thing. We basically go over the same information to let them see if they have a life insurance gap. Basically, just going into that is what you have at your job versus what you all actually need. If there's any type of gap in that amount, then we need to cover that, because in the event that, of course, something happens to you and all you have is that life insurance on your job, your family's not going to have enough to sustain. So once we go over that gap, big question that we always ask is, you love your family, right? And of course, most people say, yes, I do. And so at that point, it kind of gets the wheels turning a little bit. And, they're like, this is more important, because it is, basically showing how much you love them, and you're caring about, what happens to them when you've, moved on into another life. Also, we do go over, because like I said, when people hear term, they feel like, I don't want that because I need life insurance my whole life, and you don't. Number one reason I'll say is because regardless of what type of life insurance policy you have, whether it's term life or whole life, when you get to the age of 70, they are going to send you a letter, and it's going to tell you you have reached a beneficial age. And no matter what type of policy you have, your premiums and your death benefit is going to change. I'll give you an example. Personally, for me, I just went through this with my grandparents. We are all originally from Jersey. They worked at a pharmaceutical plant. So, they've been well off for a pretty long time. They have been paying their premiums for years. Years. And as soon as my grandparents, I think it was maybe 70 for my grandmother and 72 for my grandfather, they received a letter, basically stating, hey, you all have hit this age. So now your policy has to change. My grandparents went from having, the amount of insurance that they had to now it's minuscule. Like they were trying to offer my grandfather like $30,000 for like $150 a month or something like that. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, because of course they know that I'm, skilled in the business. And so I was like, unfortunately, if you would have gotten a type of policy with me, those type of factors wouldn't be the same. And of course, I'll touch on that as well. But because you all have had that whole life policy for so long and you are older, your health has changed, because health, age, and lifestyle, all three of those factors do factor in for your life insurance policy. The younger you are, the healthier you are, the less risky you are in life, that will get you a better life insurance policy. If any of those things are, higher scaled or, off just a tad, it could possibly change, your life insurance. If you're a smoker, overweight, whatever that may look like for someone, some of those factors and, different illnesses that we have, can factor in. So I just had to explain to them that, because you are now older, your health has changed, and, this is the policy that you started out with. Unfortunately, if you still want to continue to have life insurance, that's what we're going to have to pay. So when we look at that, older people, they start feeling like, okay, I was taken advantage of. And that's a big reason why I also came into the business, because our founder, his mom was sold the wrong type of life insurance for his father. And when he passed away, they were virtually left with nothing. So we want to try to combat that. Looking at it, you don't actually need life insurance for your whole life. Explaining why is because no matter what you have, you're going to get to that point where it's going to change and you're going to be paying more money for just a little bit of a policy. And so to combat that, when we sign up people who are actually qualified for life insurance, we like to talk about what that would look like for you to be able to pay your premium, invest whatever money you have left over into an investment vehicle for you so that your money is growing constantly over time, in your sleep, whatever that may look like. And so when you get to that point of 70 to 72 years old and you get that letter and they say, hey, your policy is decreasing and your premium is increasing, you can say, well, I don't need this anymore. I've saved up enough money to where, my family can just get my savings out, bury me, pay off my bills, do what they have to do to be able to, sustain until something else happens. So once older people hear that, now mind you, I will say insurable age is normally from the age of 18 to 72. So once you reach age 72, getting a fresh policy is probably going to be a little bit harder. But I will say that even with term at that time, people think that it just stops. It doesn't have to, because you will receive a letter from us as well saying same thing. Hey, you've reached this age. We can continue your policy, but it's going to be a lot more, of course, because term is like you're getting more premium. You're getting more policy for your premium. So then at that point, some people, again, can say, they want it to continue, or they can say, of course, what we want the ideal goal to be is you have saved up enough money to have your family go on and sustain. And then we also get into the retirement factor of, in this day and age, most of us, including myself, are probably going to need like $1 million or more to be able just to sustain what we need to do once we get to that retirement age. So it's just really beneficial to just start planning accordingly now, no matter what age you are, because most of the time, even if you're older, you may be making more money, or you may have, some money saved up somewhere. We can go over all of that with you to make it to where we let you know, okay, if this is what you have, this is how much we're going to have to put in this vehicle for you so it can grow accordingly. And then, by the time you reach that age where you just want to quit your job, travel, do whatever is necessary for you, you can do that. So for an older individual, like I said, once they hear that, even if a policy isn't something that they qualify for or can get, we still can talk to them about the investment side of it, especially if they have a good chunk of change saved, and then we can start that investment vehicle for them so that their family is still protected within that insurance gap that they're no longer receiving from their old policy.
Okay, man, listen, see, this it's a lot of information, and I think and you correct me if I'm wrong, when people start hearing a lot of the information, they just rather, oh man, that's just too much to listen to. I just, so they don't want to take the time, because even the word said that our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. I hear rappers and celebrities actually talking about using your life insurance compared to, and I don't know if I'm getting the wording right, compared to putting their money into banks instead of investing it into the insurance. What's the connection I'm missing with that?
So I guess I use, for example, one of my favorite artists was Nipsey Hussle.
Mhm.
And so before he passed away, it was one of his songs I would use a lot when I was posting, on social media and stuff. And he would talk about, having $1 million invested into his life insurance, for his family. So that missing component is basically, like I said, what we're discussing as far as with buying term and investing the difference. Instead of putting your money into the bank where you're only getting back 0.01%, maybe just 1%, 2%, if you're lucky. Going into an investment vehicle with a different company can earn you 6%, 12%, 50%, 30%, whatever that looks like for you individually. And having that bigger percentage given to you versus keeping your money in a bank is what's going to make your money grow faster. So let's just say, you start off with let's just say $10,000 in a bank, and, you go a couple of years, it's not going to grow for you in the amount of time that you would need it for you to be able to retire with a good nest egg. So, of course, again, not going too much into detail because we, personalize it for people. We explain to you what those different percentages will do for your money. And so that way, again, you can know exactly where you need to be, how much money you need to be, putting into this investment vehicle every month or every other month, whatever that looks like. And then we'll go from there. So that's really what they're talking about, which is the same information, that we're giving out, is basically having your money in a bank savings is not going to benefit you in the long run because the interest that they give you is just not there.
Wow. Connie, I'm going to read a couple of comments so I can catch up in the chat. And if anything sticks out, tell me to hold on so you can comment on it. Connie Jones said, this is necessary. Teach the people. God said that my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. This is good stuff. I retired from a major corporation, life insurance company, UM, and recently stepped back into the corporate world. So, yes, I just signed up for my benefits. So it's on my list to get additional life insurance so my children and future grands won't be stressed out. And a little bit later, I want to make sure that everybody know that if you want further information, I want you to get in contact with Dominique Collins.
I'm available any day, anytime.
Right. Don't you talk to nobody else. We talk to Dominique. She gonna get you straight. All right. Next, brother.
Now let me say this too. I always tell people, I'm not that, life insurance producer where, I don't want anybody else to eat. But I do tell people that I want for you to talk to someone that's knowledgeable and that cares about what you're getting, because a lot of these insurance places and people, they just care about that money in their pockets. And I'm gonna be honest, that's not what motivates me, because this is my business. But I know that God is going to bless me on the outside as well. So as long as I know I have my people taken care of, I'm all for it. But again, even if you don't talk to me, if you go outside and, you, of course, you want or need some more insurance, just make sure the person that you are talking to is, you catch that vibe from them that they care about you and your family. They're not just doing this for a quick dollar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Y'all heard what she say, but I'm going to tell you what I say. You better not talk to nobody else. But listen,
well, I appreciate it, Todd.
Brother Roosevelt said, it is my understanding that the term can increase each year, each time it renews. What do you have to say about that?
Now it can, but you get the option. It's not something that you have to do. But like I said, for me, just give you an example for my family, we were given the option to have our policy increase every year. And so, but it's not that much, I'll say. Some people think that it's going to be like $100 or something like that. Our policy was basically increasing from maybe about $10 a year. That was giving us more coverage for only $10 extra. And when we got to a point to where we feel like, okay, based on our budget, based on how much it takes for us to pay our bills and what we actually need, because, of course, I'm knowledgeable in it. I called the company and I was like, hey, I don't want to do the increase anymore. And they were like, okay, that's fine. We can stop it. If you want it to continue at some point in time, we can do that as well. But you have that option. It's not something that actually has to be in your policy.
Okay. All right. Let's move on in the chat. And like I said, if you want me to hold off because you see something that stands out, let me know.
Okay.
Jabari Wade said also young couples need to look at two things when shopping for insurance. Your policy amount is important. He says, number one, do you only want a policy to cover annoy your burial expenses? I don't know if that was a misspelling. Cover your burial expenses. And number two, do you want a policy to cover living expenses for your family after death? And I think you covered that a little bit earlier. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was Brother Jabari. Brother Roosevelt again said, if your health gets bad, you are also subject to cancellation. What do you have to say about that? Is that with
now? I can't speak for other companies. But as far as we are concerned here, once you have a life insurance policy with us, it's not like they come back and do medical examinations every year or every other year, whatever that looks like. As long as your policy is active. Now, of course, when you do reach that age of 70 to 72, yes, for the most part, if your health has changed, it can change your policy. As far as cancellation, since I've been in the business, I've never seen a policy get canceled because of health benefits. I've just seen it possibly get denied for what your health looks like. But like I said, with the company that we are with, they don't go back in every year or every month or whatever and check on what your health looks like. As long as you have that policy paid, you're good to go.
Okay. All right. Craig Stoops, that's a good friend of mine. He was saying it's a good talk. This is very important for financial security. That's a key word. I like financial security.
That's right.
For your family. Brother Roosevelt again said, depending on the term, whether it's renewal 5 years or less. Depending on the term, whether it's renewal 5 years or less. Anything stand out about that, or you know what he's talking about?
I guess he's probably talking about the actual term that people normally receive. So I will say that with us, we don't term people at 5 years or less. Most of our terms are 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. And that's what those terms look like for us. Like I said, for myself, me and my husband have a 25-year term policy. We have our money in an investment vehicle that is growing for us. So, when we got our policy, we were in our 20s. So that means that, once we reach 50 something, 60 something, they can come back and go over another policy for us because we will still be at an insurable age. And if we want to continue, that's fine. But if we feel like we have enough money that we don't need it anymore, we can stop it.
Gotcha. Dina Brown said, this is good information. Brother Roosevelt coming strong again with a company said, word to the wise is to love yourself enough. Word to the wise is to love yourself enough to purchase life insurance while you are young because it's cheaper.
That is right.
Okay. All right.
That is right.
Jabari said a universal insurance policy is great too. He has that. I don't know if you want to touch on that. This might be my first time hearing universal insurance policy.
Now I know that all of the policies have different components. And like I said, as far as I was concerned, universal life is another part of whole life. I can't say that I'm well versed in that area of what a universal insurance policy consists of. All I can say is that, if he does have that, I just want for him to make sure that he knows all the ins and outs, fine print, what that looks like. Because like I said, as far as I was concerned, universal life kind of falls under that same category as that whole life cash value per se. Okay. And they do have a lot of clauses that they do not go over with clients, until, like I said, something happens and then your family has to find out at a later time.
Okay. All right.
So I'm not saying that it's not good.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
like I said, I just want, if he does have that, he can, sit and talk to me, get some more information, or, whoever go over his policy just to make sure that it's well fit for him and his family.
Right.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Brother Roosevelt coming back again strong. He said, please purchase life insurance before any major sicknesses or surgeries because it will be too expensive or you will be denied. I think you touched on that
Yeah.
earlier. So that's the importance of us getting this conversation.
Yeah.
Tina is saying good morning, and Jabari is coming in again, and he says if done correctly and you get the right insurance for you and your family, which you've been stressing, if done correctly and you get the right insurance for you and your family, insurance can set up generational wealth. And again, I am hearing more and more celebrities, even Waka Flocka, a rapper. He said he ain't rapping no more. He ain't doing. He said once he understood this, his money is strictly based upon life insurance.
And that's what that's the goal for us as well, creating that generational wealth, for your children and their children and so on and so forth. That's why, like I said, we focus on these policies benefiting you and your family so that, like I said, they can continue to carry on. And, I'm not being funny, but this is how a lot of other races and communities have built themselves and, have given their children opportunities that unfortunately a lot of our children don't have or don't get because we were not knowledgeable of this information.
Right. Connie is asking for contact information. Is it safe that you just say to contact you?
Yes. I actually do have a business site, but most people, because I'm so prevalent on social media, they'll go through and, click on my page, they'll DM me. And I also do have my telephone number. It was listed on that flyer. I think that we sent out the one that's behind you. If it's not on there, I definitely do not have a problem with putting my information in the chat. Or Todd, if you are share that, we can, like I said, we can actually get them that information that way as well. But I definitely can. I'm on my phone, so if I pick it up, I'll type it in there real quick. I know you wanted to go through the questions, but I definitely can get that information to her.
Oh yeah, go ahead and type it in. You can go ahead and type it in. We're gonna get ready to come to the close. I know everybody got some things that they want to do, and I got some. I don't know what's going. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna remove. Said, guys, this is just listen. Lack of knowledge, we be destroyed. Get the knowledge, we can win. We can be more powerful. We can set up generational wealth for our families. Jabari said, term life, universal policies all have their pros and cons. Shop wise to get understanding before making a decision you will regret later. Definitely. And when she gets back, she's like I said, she's about to post her information, and we're going to bring it to a close. I have taken her away from her safe haven space long enough. Amen. We have given y'all the knowledge. We have given y'all, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind. Okay, boom. Let me see if I can.
Okay. I put all my information there. I don't know. I hope you all can see it.
It went to my private chat, but I think I can post it here. Let's see.
Okay.
I think it's coming up.
That was the only chat option they were giving me.
I think it's coming up right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Can you see? Okay, right there.
Yes. Yep. I saw it pop up right now. Mm-hmm.
All right. we're gonna leave that right there. So so everyone, and like I said, I don't know why you know what, me and my camera over here, we about to have a fight. We about to have a fight. You know, I'm wee. Let me get back right. All right, there we go.
Yep,
All
there
right.
you go.
Yeah, this is the information right here, y'all. Make sure that you get it. Look, Dominique Collins on Facebook. A telephone is 803-669-5409. Text first so I know who you are. Email is dominique.collins90@outlook.com. And remember, text first. And I understand that because if somebody called me and I don't have you in the contacts, I'm not even answering. And
Yes.
if you don't leave a message, I ain't calling you back.
Yes, and that's the problem that I run into sometimes. Because then sometimes I'm so busy with people contacting me, my mailbox will get full before I realize it, and you can't leave a message.
Right.
I try to check it as much as I can, but you know, like I said, texting is really good. I get all my text messages. Even if you want to email me, that works too. But I just prefer, you know, to shoot me a little quick text. Or like I said, if you are on social media, you type in my name, I pop up right there. My face looks the same. And all you have to do is just message me and I'll get right back in contact with you. This is, like I say, a business that I run every day. So anytime is fine.
All right, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add this as a banner, and that way, that way to stay locked in like that right there. Listen, everybody, I'm getting good feedback. Joel Edwards says, great info. We'll be contacting you soon. Listen, if, like we say in church, if we can reach just one. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure myself and my wife and we're going to discuss some things that we have a busy day set up for today. But I have your information. I'm going to be first partaker in making sure that we get something in the works going with.
Yes. Just let me know. Like I said, and I always tell people it doesn't have to be much. I work with what works for you. I don't care, you know, about you paying no $100 policy or whatever, because if you can't afford it, you're not going to pay your policy. And I want you to have your policy. So even if it's just a little bit, just something, we'll get you where you need to be.
Awesome. Miss Collins, I thank you. I appreciate you. I thank you for coming in.
You're most welcome.
And
thank you for having me. I enjoyed everything.
Awesome. And take it easy. You and the fact, thank your family for allowing us to steal you away for just a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your kids. And
yes,
I know
sir, no problem at all. Thank you for having me on your platform.
All right. I'll be contacting you later.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I want to get this. Let me see. And a GoFundMe isn't a life insurance. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm glad somebody said it. I have did a whole about 20-minute video on my page about GoFundMe not being an insurance policy. I am tired of seeing that, Lord. It's too many people out here that are doing life insurance for people to have to continue to put up GoFundMes. Please, Lord Jesus. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I had a lady that came to me. I had been trying to get her life insurance policy for about 6 months, and she didn't think it was necessary. Unfortunately, y'all, her daughter was 22 years old. She passed away, and she was so mangled in her accident, they had to cremate her. And I just cried because she called me and she said, Dominique, I should have already gotten this policy, but we were not expecting this. And she has sent me so many referrals. It's not even funny, y'all. It's real serious out here. And, you know, I want everybody to get the coverage that they need, because we never know when our number is going to be called. But thank y'all.
All right. Thank you again, Dominique. Y'all, listen, no GoFundMe. Listen, invest in yourself and in your family. And maybe in the next month or so, I'm going to try to set up something where we just have a mass list where we just try to get people to come in, and I want to just try to get them to get in contact with. If you don't have life insurance, I want to funnel this use this channel to say, hey, come here. This is the lady who can help you out. And even if you don't, you might know somebody with life insurance, but you might want to talk to her. I know she wants you to come through her, as we all would want your business, but she don't want you to be led astray if you may have a question or so. She's that type of person. She has that heart. But again, thank you, and we appreciate you. And go ahead, enjoy the rest of your day. Kick back.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dominique. All right,
thank you so much. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Y'all, that was Dominique Collins. She broke some things down. Even Jabari and Brother Roosevelt threw some information in that. Listen, y'all, that is the information that you need right there. Dominique Collins on Facebook. Telephone is 803-669-4909. She said, text first so I know who you are. Email is dominiquecollins90@outlook.com. Listen, we must do this. We must do this. Y'all hear me? I say this again. We must do this. And me and the wife, and we will be getting together and getting us being first partakers. There's no need in me bringing this information to the forefront, and we're not making sure that things are in order. Get with your family members, get with your mothers, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers, your aunties. Let's talk. This is the information we need to be talking about. Not on. Listen, I always say, even when we, I always bring this back to the church. And there's nothing wrong with preaching Bible, because the Bible is what we need. The Bible is the blueprint. But there are not many churches that are having these meetings and having these conferences and seminars or teaching about, how to take care of yourself and your family, financial stability, health insurance, life insurance. We need to get this into our community. If we can help just one, that's one more that's being able to learn and better their self and better their family situation. Listen, guys, we getting ready to get out of here. I got to go. Listen, y'all, please keep me in your prayers. As this morning, I'll be speaking at New Light Below Baptist Church, speaking this morning for the Sunday service, and I pray that God will be able to. I pray that God will use me to deliver His message to His people, that they may hear, see, and believe what it is that He has to say. So once again, y'all, I thank y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. We will be out of here in less than 30 seconds. Peace.